Hey, Giant fans. Welcome to the Giant Insider Podcast. My name is Jerry Foley. I am the senior editor of the Giant Insider newspaper, and with me, as always, is the beat writer in the heart of Giants Nation. Nobody beats the biz, Chris Bizignano. Before we get started, Chris, calling all Giants fans. Make every game a big win for you and your pup. Brewskits is your dog's game day ticket to big-time fun. Huddle up and score big with your four-legged companion. Treat your pup to these all-star biscuits and share the love. Made from spent beer grains, these eco-friendly, all-natural premium dog treats will turn tailgating into tail-wagging good times. So grab a brew for you and Fido too. Don't sideline your furry teammate. Head on over to brewskits.com and make every game a winner. That's Brewskits, BREWSCUITS.com, because every game is better with Brewskits. Chris, what a difference 3 weeks make. You know, like 2-8 going into the Commanders game. It's like, all right, well, let's just finish out the slate. And all of a sudden, man, they win a game, win another, have a bye week. Things kind of go their way, and they come back and win a Monday night game that, look, was thrilling. 5-8, and forget playoff push. I mean, that's out there, but you know, the enthusiasm around what this team's doing right now is palpable, and it's fun to be able to look forward to a game and a football Sunday in December now. Like this wasn't the case 3 weeks ago, man. Yeah. And it's just funny what a difference 3 weeks makes. And you know, of course, a lot of it's Tommy DeVito, but the defense deserves credit, and Dable deserves credit, and Wink and Kafka. But man, it's DeVito mania right now, and it's fun to be in this position and just seeing like, all right, let's see what happens this week now after 3 weeks of winning.
Yeah, it's everybody wants to see what Tommy's going to do next, right?
Unbelievable.
Could Tommy play well? Could Tommy pull off another upset? He has definitely been a bolt of lightning to his organization. Surge of energy, right?
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's funny, Jerry. I was in a place last night, and a couple of Eagle friends of mine, even they were cut off to me going, "Hey, I really like this DeVito kid." You know, even they were saying it. You know,
it's unbelievable, dude. They really do.
Funny.
Yeah.
So it's DeVito mania all over the place. How long will it last? I don't know. We'll see. But you gotta hope, right? It's been an interesting December. It's going to be a real challenge this week because he's going to be in an environment that he's probably has never been in before. You know, it's very, very loud in New Orleans.
Yeah,
the fans are crazy down there. They're fighting for the divisions, so it's going to be extra juiced.
Yeah.
In that building, you know, and they love their Saints down there, no question about it. So he's going to be kind of walking into a lion's den a little bit, and we're going to see how he handles it. You know, he'll be prepared for it, but you don't really get prepared until you're actually under center or in a shotgun down in that building. You know, that's how loud it gets. So,
yeah, and you know, look, I looked at it seems like their defense is way better than their offense, right? The Saints, but you look at the rankings, and they end up both like 13 on both sides. But their pass defense is really good, the Saints, right? I think it's top 10. And that's going to be, I think, the biggest test. It's going to be our offense, I believe, against their defense. Like, I don't worry about what Derek Carr, and although he's got some weapons, I don't worry about their offense against us. I worry about how we're going to play their defense and how DeVito's going to perform, like you said, with them to have a lot to play for in the Dome. It's going to be the next test for him. And we don't know where this is going, but you know, he wins another one, or they can somehow pull it off, we're going to feel even better about this situation. And then we're going to all root for a Christmas miracle. But first, we have to get to the Saints, obviously. Yeah, I mean, look, looking at these two teams, I don't know if you feel the same way. I just look at the Saints offense, and I'm like, Derek Carr, I don't know. It doesn't really scare me. It seems to have gone really downhill. They do have weapons on offense still, a little older, but it's more the defensive side of the ball, especially those corners. And I mean, Demario Davis, who, my God, dude, I don't know how old he is, 30 something, 38, 36. He just doesn't seem to like age. He gets better every year. So they have some stars on defense that can, I think, disrupt us. So I think that's going to be the key matchup to this one. Dude.
Yeah. Don't turn the ball over. That's going to be the key.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be tough against their defense. And their offense, you know, they're booing Derek Carr down there, Jerry.
Yeah.
They're booing him.
Yeah.
They don't even want him to be the quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
And they got some key guys that I don't know if they're going to play Sunday. Taysom Hill does so much for them. I don't know if he's playing.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, he hasn't practiced all week. I don't know what he did today. We'll see how they list him. Probably be questionable. doubtful. We'll see. I don't even know if he practiced it. We'll find out in a little while.
Yeah.
The Shaheed kid who's really been good for them. Don't know if he's playing. You know, they got Kamara, but Derek Carr, you know, he's been okay. You know,
tomato.
All right.
Is it tomato?
Yeah, you look at it. You know, well, he hasn't been a tomato, but you know, he's just been all right. You know,
yeah. I've been using that word more lately.
I mean, they're booing him left. You know, they're booing him a lot down there. You know, so it's when you look at the stats, you say, how the hell is this team a 13th ranked offense? You know,
right.
You really do. Now, you know, like I said, they're going to go into this game with injuries. And the Giants defense, which has been playing pretty decent, you know, pretty good. They're getting a lot of turnovers.
They are.
It's going to come down to that, Joe. I think if DeVito is a turnover over, now you're kind of waiting for that shoe to drop a little bit with the turnovers with DeVito, right? You're waiting for that 1 or 2 pick game. You are. I mean, I'm being honest. Might not happen, but you kind of like, oh, he's a rookie, hostile environment. Could have happened this week. Yeah. You know, we'll see, you know, but I think the Giants defense gets their offense is going to be fine. You know, and now it's just going to be a matter of could the Giants score a little bit and they don't turn the ball over. I honestly, Jerry, I think whoever wins the turnover battle in this game wins, which is a lot of the game. You know, but in this case, I think it's, you know, if the Giants are -2, -1, they're going to lose. I think they have to win the turnover battle to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the blueprint. And I'll tell you what, dude, as good of a season as Olave's having, like if Hill is out, I think that's bigger for us because he's the kind of player that just kills us. Like running the ball, like just the Swiss Army knife that he is. Like, I know he's had past games against us where he's done really well. Like, to me, I worry way more about him. I know Olave's better. I know he's explosive. Olave got like almost 1,000 yards, but like Hill's the kind of guy where it's like, oh, if he don't play, like I feel a lot better about this game, man. Like you said, I think it will come down to turnovers. Like most games do, but not all of them, right? Like I said, dude, we had the Commanders game. They turned the ball over 6. We had 0 and they almost won. So it's not always the case, right? But this is one where it does feel like if we don't turn the ball over, we feel like we should win this game, or whoever doesn't is going to probably win this game. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think if they don't turn over, it's going to be a fourth quarter down to the wire type game. I really do.
Yeah.
You know? Now their defense, you know, look, their defense is pretty good. They play well at home last week, you know, Carolina and all that, but they got some guys playing well too, you know, and and like you said, Demario Davis is still really good linebacker, and they got corners playing well, and the Honey Badgers still roaming around out there.
Unbelievable.
You know, and you know, they have a defensive lineman that's playing at a real high level right now, you know, so that's going to be quite a challenge for Tommy. You know, they're not a big sack team, but they get pressure, you know, and Tommy's going to have to see, you know, exactly figure out where they're coming from blitz wise and all that stuff. And then, you know, to me, Jerry, forget about the outside guys, Hodgins, Slayton. To me, I think Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be key in this game. I really do. Their outside corners are playing really well.
Yeah.
Debo's playing at a Pro Bowl level. He's going to be in a Pro Bowl. I'll be shocked if he isn't. But I think they could do some things from the slot. I really do.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I really like Alontae Taylor, but he's giving up some touchdowns. He's getting beat a little bit. He's a good player, but I think Wan'Dale's 100% now. I really do. If not, he's 99.5.
Yeah, he's
with that knee.
Right.
You see the explosiveness. You see him last week running and receiving. I think he could be the key to this game. Now we'll find out a little bit if Darren Waller is going to play. Waller told us in the locker room this week that he feels he could play. Probably be on a snap count, but he feels he could play.
No, he hasn't played with DeVito yet, has he? Was trying to think about that.
Right,
he's been out for
Waller's been out
way
since,
longer.
Whatever the hell game, beginning of November there, right? Whatever it was. So, if he does play down and he feels he could, we'll see. You know what they're thinking today. I'm sure he'll be down as questionable.
Yeah.
If he does, he'll have a limited snap count, which, you know, look, 20 snaps, 18 snaps could be very effective with him.
Yeah.
You know, you could do some things with him. So if he comes back, Jerry, and that's a big get back for the offense and, of course, for DeVito, you know.
Yeah. I was thinking if Waller played, and the reason I asked that because I didn't know if Waller played in the Jets game or not when DeVito was in it. I was trying to think of all the games. DeVito's been in more than 3 games, but like I couldn't remember how long Waller's been out. That's all. But I was thinking this week, like if Waller plays and DeVito hits him with a seam pass, like he helps himself even more with Giant fans. Like, wait, we hit a tight end with a seam pass, and you know, for a big gain. So, but you'd have to think that he would. at least be a distraction for their defense, right? Like he's at least a threat.
Got to account for him. Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, and you brought up Wan'Dale Robinson before, dude. It's funny when you said that about people talking about DeVito. Fans of other teams are now noticing Wan'Dale Robinson. They're like, wow, that kid is explosive. When you have a number one receiver, he's really going to be dangerous. And other teams and other people are starting to take notice of him. The other night, watching the replays over and over again, because I'm a buffoon, like with the Giants, especially when they win, you just watch replay after replay, play after play. Robinson just looks so explosive when he got the ball in his hands, especially on that end around. Oh my God, like he hit it to another gear. And then when DeVito hit him with the last pass down the sideline, as soon as he caught the ball, he turned it up again. He's an exciting young guy. And when they drafted him, Chris, I'll be honest, I was like, oh, 5'8", okay, cool. Then you see the clips of him and like, all right, I understand why they made this pick. But he's someone, like we've been constantly saying, what are you looking for down the stretch? That's a guy that you're looking to improve. And like you said, man, he's completely healthy or almost completely healthy now. And be nice to see him kind of build on or stack what he did Monday night in this game.
Yeah, and I think he will, Jerry. I think he's going to be the go-to guy receiver-wise. I really do. And it's been a year, almost to the date where he had that surgery. Okay.
Yep.
And he's talked about it. He said, he goes out, it's a year now and I'm feeling it now. I feel the explosive. I feel him back healthy, back where he wants to be. And Jerry, you look at that route the other night on our last drive, right? The one where he beats Keyshawn Nixon from the slot. Jerry, you're not running that route unless you got explosiveness in your knees and your legs, bro.
Right. The shiftiness of that move he made.
And that was a great route. And Nixon was going one way and Wan'Dale was going to the 7 route a little bit to the outside. And he made a fool out of Nixon. He really did, and you're feeling confident in your legs and your knee, dude, running those routes. That's the bottom line, Yeah. And you look, Jerry, he is Wan'Dale Robinson right now is you are seeing, and we saw it last year, and then he got hurt the same game we saw it, right?
Exactly right. That was his best game of the season.
Right. And then he gets hurt, unfortunately.
He had 100 yards. Yep.
I think he had 100 yards, right? If I remember right.
He did.
Like 9 catches, 100 yards, something like that.
Yep.
So, Jerry, everybody's now seeing why Joe Shane drafted this kid.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing it. He does so many different things besides running routes out of the slot. They use him in so many ways. And you saw that last game, right?
Yeah.
End the rounds, use them on a flea.
Yeah.
Saquon's handed off to him, the whole deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Barkley's pitching back to Tommy. They're getting Wan'Dale up the sideline, the whole deal. And, they're using it in different ways. And that's what Brian Dable's going to do, Jerry. When he has a weapon like that, he's going to find different ways to use them.
Yeah.
And he's going to save things for later in the game. And that's why I put that clip out today. I put it on Twitter. Stefan Diggs talking about Dable,
I didn't even see it, Chris. Yeah.
When they were together,
Okay.
And Diggs saying about how creative Andy Reid type Dable is and how he saved plays for the fourth quarter and all that stuff. And that's a prime example. That route Wan'Dale ran, he didn't run. I don't think he ran that all game out of the slot.
No.
And he ran it on the last drive. So Dable's going to do a lot of great things. As long as Wan'Dale stays healthy, and we all pray he does, of course. You don't see anybody get hurt, especially our guys, right? As long as he stays healthy, that kid, next year, Jerry, forget about the rest of this year. The rest of this year is going to be very effective, as he's starting to be now, as we see, right? Wait till next year when he's got a year and a half, almost, when he's coming up on a 2-year mark in that surgery. And the knee's really, really 100%. You're going to see, this kid, why they drafted him. What Shane and Dable saw in him. They drafted him kind of high, right? I mean, what the hell? He's, he wasn't a 6th-round pick. He wasn't a 6th-round pick, right?
Right.
And now you see it. Now you're seeing why. The kid is a weapon, bro. Tough to defend him one-on-one in the slot, and that's a lot of that slot is one-on-one, So
yeah, not to bring him up, but this is what you would have envisioned with Kadarius Toney with the Giants too, like that kind of player. But they couldn't do it with him because of a lot of other reasons. But I
a lot of other reasons.
And that's what I was kind of like. Oh man, he's got a lot of talent, but now Wan'Dale's doing it. And I was going to ask Chris, what's he like in the locker room? Is he like quiet kid, or what's his personality?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, very respectful, very quiet, very quiet. I shouldn't say quiet, but very respectful. Always talking. Just a great kid. As opposed, to the other guy.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah,
Who I said was, remember I used to say, it's a little weird at times, you know. Remember? So, but no, Wandell is a great kid. I hear nothing but good things about him, Jerry.
I still laugh at when we weren't on video, guys, when Chris would be like, yeah, Kadarius Toney's going through injuries this week, and he would just go like this.
Yeah. So, but look, Wandell is a kid that's really, really loved by his teammates. Coaches really love him. You know, he's a hard worker, dude. Rehabbed to know, really rehabbed. Did the right thing in rehab. Got back.
Yeah.
But no matter what, Jerry, no matter how hard you rehab and all that stuff, players will always tell you it usually takes a year to 14 months with that, with the knee surgeries to really start feeling like yourself, And now we're past the year mark. I know it's slightly, but we're past the year mark with Wandell. And as a matter of fact, Jerry, I think Monday night was exactly.
I think so. I think it was
exactly
1 year Monday night.
Say that for his surgery, right? And you're seeing it now, man. The kid's just a weapon. He's a weapon, bro. And
it's got to be in your head when you're that kind of a shifty back, too.
Oh,
right?
absolutely,
dude.
And
a little different when you're a quarterback or lineman. I'm not saying it's not in your head, but when you're that, your game is moves and shiftiness. Like that's got to just play on you too, man.
Absolutely, man. And until you start doing it, Jerry, and then you get that confidence in your head, like, okay, my knee's good. I'm not worried about making this cut, that cut, this cut.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's the type of kid that stops on a dime. He does, he's got this feet. So I think he'll finish the year strong. I really do. Seems to have a little thing going on with Tommy too, DeVito. And that's great to see for 2024 too. Where you have a slot guy that's a real weapon that's going to be used in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And that's what Dable does. So,
Stephon Diggs, speaking so highly of Dable, you wouldn't happen to know when his contract's up, would you? I don't know if you want Stephon Diggs. I'm just joking. Like, speaking so highly of Dable, like, he's a number one receiver. I know there's issues, like got a little bit of a diva attitude, but he's explosive. So anyway, yeah, and I don't expect to know the contract situation of every other team, but I've always liked Stephon Diggs. I know there's a bit of
he's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Diva sometimes doesn't get the ball, but what wide receiver doesn't have that these days, right? I was going to say the other thing that came out this week, I don't know if it's news or whatever, but Jones contacts DeVito the second, the game's over and they have a good relationship. It seems like DeVito picks his brain. And I think that, that speaks to who Daniel Jones is, right? Like kind of lost in this is, like it's DeVito mania right now, but Jones is being a good teammate through all this, right? Like, and
sure.
I don't know how other guys would act. I don't know how I would act if that was me, and I go down and they got my backup is all of a sudden Mr. Popular. Like, that's not, it can't be an easy thing, but it sounds like Jones is doing the right thing here.
Sure, yeah, he's picking his brain constantly, And DeVito said the other day that he meets with Daniel all the time when he's around the building. Daniel's rehabbing, so he's not around there a lot all the time. But when he is, he's picking his brain. They're going over some stuff, and he was talking about how Daniel texts him right after games and all that stuff. So not a surprise with Daniel, Jerry. I got to be honest with you.
No, you've always said he's such a good guy and teammate and all that.
It's not a surprise. There's no Brett Favre here. I'm not going to talk to this new kid, Aaron Rodgers, nonsense and all that. And Aaron Rodgers objecting to Jordan Love being drafted, and all that stuff. So, hey, look, this is still. I know it's DeVito mania and all that, but still Daniel Jones' team. He's going to be the quarterback next year,
Yeah.
Unless DeVito likes it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know.
So, but
we'll see.
Right now, it's still Daniel 2024, and we'll see what happens. And, but DeVito's showing some good things, Jerry. He's progressing. You see some guys on social media, guys, former quarterbacks, Brian Baldinger, former offensive line, always breaks down the film and all that. And, you see guys, they're putting stuff out there. Well, you know what? DeVito did this well. Look at this read. Look at this. Look at this. So the kid's improving, man. He's not just out there. The last game, he just wasn't out there taking space up, man, and he's not turning the ball over. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this moves forward, Jerry. Really, because like we talked about the last podcast, we said, and we were both thinking the same thing, right? It was like at the end of the game, it's like, well, what do we have here? Right. After that last drive, it's like, whoa, what do we have here? Well, we'll get some more answers down the road because, when you're playing the Saints in a hostile environment, you got an angry Eagles team in 2 weeks that's fighting for a division, and dude, a pretty good Rams team too. Okay, pretty good
Oh
Rams
yeah,
team.
no, they're no slouch at all.
All right, and you're going to have Philly again. You got to get a little bit more of an answer from DeVito. You know, as far as I'm not talking about starting, just more of an answer of what kind of quarterback this kid is. You know, so
yeah.
Well, it's a great story. It's rejuvenated this franchise for the second half of this season. You know,
save the season. Save the season from a I want to watch standpoint.
You could be a Charger fan right now where you're losing, your team's not even showing up, and you know, folks, you talked about there was some kind of narrative by some people out there about 4 weeks ago about people folding the tent on Dable, divided locker room, and I went on this podcast and I recorded it, and then I put some clips up on Twitter about when I said it's absolute and total bullshit. Remember, I said it's absolute and total bullshit. Not even remotely close to the truth. You know, some people were trying to put narratives out there and all that stuff about the Able was losing the locker room. And I put it was total bullshit. By the way, a couple of people in the Giants organization actually reached out to me and said they thought that was great, by the way. So anyway, so it was total complete bullshit. You want to talk about a team that really is folded the tent, and it's
Chris. Hang on, let's start off with that after the break, guys. You listen to the Giant Insider podcast. Hang on 1 second, and we're back, folks. Listen to the Giant Insider podcast with Jerry Foley and Chris. Nobody beats the biz, Basignano. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was just before we went to break, just saying about you want to look at a team that folded the tent, that quit on their coach. Well, I don't know if anybody who's listening to this, you saw the Charger game last night on Amazon Prime. I don't know, whoever watches it. I know Roger, it's all about the fans. Goodell decided to put just stream games on Thursday nights now. But you saw a team that quit on their coach. And I wasn't the only one. They were saying it on their broadcast. They were saying it on Twitter. Everybody was saying, wow, these guys are quitting here. These guys, they're not even showing an effort out there. That's
look at the reverse. Look at the reverse of that. You had a Raider team that scored 0 points last week, right? You talk about quitting versus not quitting, right? The Raiders had no points last week, but up 63 last night. And dude, the tweet I did see, I laughed my ass off when I saw it, was when you said, Staley's not going to make it to the end of the season. Then 10 minutes later, make that tomorrow morning. And he was fired. And he was fired today.
I mean, fired this morning. Yeah.
It's not funny that he got fired, but the tweet was hysterical.
Yeah, because Jerry, I put a tweet out there. They were getting beat pretty good, and I said, "This dude ain't gonna make it." Well, I've been saying Staley ain't gonna make it. But I said, "This dude he ain't making it." And then when it was like 28-0 or some embarrassing play,
I think 42-0 was.
That's what I kind of retweeted or subtweeted, whatever the hell you call it, and I put, "No, he's not gonna make it till tomorrow morning." As a matter of fact, and he got fired this morning. I mean, that was well deserved. Staley's Brandon Staley's probably one of the worst coaches in football. I've been saying it for.
You've been saying it for at least a year. Definitely last year.
Anyway, but Jerry, when you see guys that kind of half-assing it, and that's when you're done. So just a little contrast with what was trying to get spun out there about Jeff Dable, which is absurd compared to
like that. Yeah.
3 in a row here. These guys have been busting their ass, and everybody's mistaken.
I mean, especially if you know otherwise, Chris. Like, I'm not to be funny, but you're like, that's bullshit. That's not a true thing. That's not the case, right? Like, I don't know. Like, we say it all the time. I always hate to go back to them, but like Parcells and Belichick argued all the time. Like, they're not best friends, but they work together. Like, I don't know. That's what coaches do. That's what great coaches do. Two opinionated guys. When if your defense gets scored on, the head coach is going to question them, and the defense is going to say, defensive coach is like, "Don't worry about it, I got it." That's just the way it is. That's how it happens. Like, doesn't mean there's complete turmoil. And like you said, these guys are freaking eating lunch together. Like, give me a break, man. Don't just make shit up. And unfortunately, a lot of people do that, dude. But speaking of the defense, I don't know, man. I feel like, especially the way they played lately, like I go into tomorrow, especially against Derek Carr, and feeling really good about, it's tomorrow, 2 days, sorry, going into Sunday, feeling really good about what we can do defensively against Carr. And I don't know if it's a confidence thing in Carr or he's just not that good anymore. Like, there was one point like 5-6 years ago where I was like, man, he's an MVP candidate. And I swear, ever since he broke his collarbone in that playoff game, he's been a different player.
Yeah,
really, and it might be mental. Yeah. I think it was against the Bengals. But it's just, he's just not, I don't know if it's mental or what, or if he's just declined, but I feel like, man, the defense can really shine. Like this could be like a pick 6 type game for Banks or somebody.
Oh, Jerry, that's definitely on the table, in my opinion. Yeah. I just Jerry, I just don't think he's very good.
Yeah, maybe.
Very simple. Very simple. I just don't think Derek's very good anymore. I really don't. Now, that being said, they still got Kamara in the backfield.
Right.
Right. I mean, Kamara could still catch and run the ball. So they're gonna have to, they're gonna have to do something about him. And if Chris Olave doesn't play, man, that's huge. I mean, you kind of figure even if Olave does play, he's not gonna be 100%. He hasn't practiced this week. Maybe he was limited today. We'll see when the injury reports come out in a little bit. They should be out real soon. So you figure he's not 100% anyway. And that kid's phenomenal. Michael Thomas, he hasn't been a factor anyway. He's on IR. He's not even around. Yeah. So not many weapons there. Just.
That's why I said Hill scares me the most probably of all of them.
Yeah, I tell you, because he could do so many things, and we'll see if he plays, right? We'll see if he plays, So Juwan Johnson, Jimmy Graham caught a ball. I think he caught a touchdown last week, but he's barely a factor in this offense too. So look, the offensive line's still real good, Jerry. Still real good. Don't get me wrong, they're still pretty good. So what do you look for? I think this is a 17-13 type game. I do.
Yeah, ugly game.
I think it's
not ugly, but like kind of boring if you're not a Giants or Saints fan. That's all.
I don't think I don't think that you're going to see those 24 points like last week the Giants got. I don't think you're going to see that this week. And I think the Giants defense will hold them in there. Long as the Saints offense isn't set up right in plus territory on turnovers and stuff like that. I think this is a 16-13 type game, Jerry. And who wins it at the end? That's the way I see it. But Tommy's going to have no fumbles, right? Yeah. Take the sack if you have to take it. No forced balls, which he hasn't done, Tommy, right? And look, Jerry, unless I'm mistaken, dude, right?
Right.
You correct me. You're better than me. You're better at this memory-wise with this shit with me. The last 3 games that he started, the last 3 wins, has he had a ball where it went so close and he said, oh, that was going to go the other way. Why did he throw that?
No, I haven't seen one. Not the last
That's
3
what
games.
I thought, but you're always better at this than me. So I was like, usually you get these rookies right there. There's always 1 or 2 balls like, you go like that. Oh, okay, you got away with it.
Sorry, Lisa, but Eli Manning would do that a lot too.
Yeah, Eli Manning threw about 65 picks his rookie year, Lisa. We remember that, So, but so far it hasn't been like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, he got away with that. Nothing like that.
There hasn't been any of those. You got away with one. No.
Yeah. So but look, you're gonna have to be careful with these corners. And believe it or not, Isaac Yiadom. Remember him, old Giant from 3 years ago? Isaac Yiadom?
Unbelievable.
Playing. Look, Lattimore was on the Lattimore's not playing. He's on IR. So Isaac, I tell you, I've been watching Isaac, man. He's not playing bad, man. He's not playing bad. Nope. He's held his own, man, for the Saints. So you're probably going to see, you'll see him Sunday, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned real quick before, I just wanted to go back to something. The play DeVito made the other night, forget the last drive. The most impressive play that everyone's talking about, and they should be, was the rollout to Hodges, that touchdown. Hodgins. That throw was, I thought, his best throw of the night when he rolled out, and Hodges didn't have much separation. I mean, that throw was friggin' perfect. He throws such a nice ball. I know you said it in training camp, but he's doing it in the games too, dude. He throws such a nice spiral, right? Like, oh my God. This kid can throw, but his and he's faster than I thought, right? Like the first couple of games, he's got to get into the flow a bit, but he's a lot quicker. It's hard. It's funny, right? All of a sudden we have Daniel Jones. Now we have a fast quarterback. So every quarterback now looks slow. For years, it was, if you could run it all, you looked quick. Now this kid, I'm like, okay, he's faster than I thought. But that throw to me was, I thought the play that really stood out the most. The final drive was really impressive, but that throw is the one where you're like, what do we have here? And that's, just hope he can keep it going. But like you said, dude, that was the biggest surprise looking at this game, like Isaac Yiadom, like playing well. And like, man, we had this guy, and he didn't play bad with the Giants. Like he was up and down.
He wasn't a bad with the Giants.
He was more up and down. Yeah, a little inconsistent.
He was up and down. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
and Jerry, look, that DeVito throw, he rolls to his right. Hodges, that was a great throw. He put it where nobody else could catch it, right? Yeah. Except for Isaiah, which Isaiah did. Great job, Isaiah, getting the 2 feet down. And I tell you, Jerry, that throw to Wandell on the last drive outside the numbers, and he put it in a spot where Wandell could turn upfield. Yeah. Which a lot of times you see, the receiver catches it back here. I'm turning my body, folks. Okay, now he's going to get hit by the defensive back. Boom. But he puts it in a spot where, boom, he turns it upfield, too, and gets some more yards, right? He got it with the 25-yard line. What the hell of a field goal position. Boom, game over, basically, right? Yeah. So that was impressive, too. So we'll see if he continue making, progressing, making some good throws like that. And don't make any bad throws or bad decisions in the pocket. I thought it was a great job by Kafka and Dable last week with the adjustments.
Yeah.
They broke out the zone read last week. Packers were not ready for it, you know.
Right.
And he got him a few times, and Tommy got him a few times getting out of that pocket. Where it looked like the Pack were in man coverage. He had some green in front of him and all that stuff. So we'll see. You know, now here's the thing, too, Jerry. Just remember this too. And I'm not being a downer, and I'm not being negative, you know, but it's reality in the NFL.
No, you're realist, yeah.
It's reality. The more you play, it means the more film you're putting out there.
You always say that. Yep.
So now, you know, Joe Woods, their coordinator, now has 3 games of studying everything Tommy has done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now he gets attacked differently now. Guys come up with things. They start looking for things. Well, maybe he doesn't do this as well. Let's test it. You know, that's the thing in this league. You know, you start putting film out there, and coordinators start attacking different ways.
Right. What are his tendencies? Right.
How do you adjust? All that stuff comes into play now because he's not a new guy anymore, right? He's not new anymore. Now you have film out there, and that's going to be the adjustment. I'm not saying that Tommy can't play well. I'm just telling you that's life in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know how teams start adjusting to you because they see now what you've been doing.
Yeah. I was going to say before, like, I almost want to see. I mean, look, if DeVito wins 4 out, then okay, we could all be very excited. But I almost you want to see him struggle a bit and then how he responds to it. I'm not saying have a bad game and then the next game play well, but like even mid game, if he can't do anything, and then all of a sudden, you know, last drive he leads into something. Like I almost want to see what happens. Like it's not that I'm hoping for it, but in a sense, I just want to see like, all right, Tommy, they have, you know, like you said, Chris, film on you now. You're struggling a bit. How are you going to respond to this? What are you going to do? What's the play calling going to be? What's a play that you like that can kind of lead this team down the field? So you want to see a little adversity, right? Because right now he's flying high and everything's great, but it's going to be like this is going to be a big test this week, like you said, in the Dome with the team playing for playoffs and playing for the division and the defense playing pretty well. But I almost hope there is a little bit of adversity. That's all. There you go. Nice.
UPS, of course. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I'm not rooting for it, but you almost want to see how he responds. That's all, if there is any. So.
Yeah, that's all part of it, right? That's all part of it.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I think he's going to face some of that this week, Jerry. I think he will. I do think he will. Again, you know, he might even, you know, he might throw an early pick. We'll see how he responds. You know, maybe a fumble, something like that. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like that's big. Like that. Look, that's part of the job, right? As an NFL quarterback. Yeah. Responding to adversity. That's part of the job because not everything's going to be smooth, bro. As we know, and that includes veterans, includes everybody, right? So. We'll see. I tell you what, Jerry, man, getting to know DeVito, being around him, I tell you, dude, I don't think adversity is going to rattle him at all. He just seems to have that personality, Jerry. Like if he gets punched in the face, okay, let's get back in the ring. Let's go, boom, 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 round 2, let's roll. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not like, you know, punched in the face, like oh my god, you know what I mean? Like I just got smacked. You know,
that's one of the quotes you like, isn't it? The Tyson quote. Everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face.
Until they get punched in the face, you know. So and it's going to happen with Tommy, no question. You know, but I tell you, you know, he's got that personality, Jerry. I can see, okay, if he gets punched, he's going to come back fighting even harder. I'm telling you. Well, he's Italian, you know, so we know that. So
I was going to ask that actually. Yeah.
You know, that always helps. You know,
it's a trait. Right?
So you know, you know, he gets punched. I expect him to look. It might not work out, but he's not going to cower down. He's not going to show being timid. You know, all that crap, dude. I'm telling you, he's going to come out fighting. Tommy might not work out, but he'll come out fighting.
One more thing about this game that I just want to bring up. Like, I can't see like a special teams blunder this week. Like, especially in the Dome, I can't see a momentum turning fumble or stupid play or like you got to tighten up special teams, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it cannot be the reason they lose. That's all. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. You can't go last week. The Saints had a block punt, big block punt. Right. Can't have that, bro. Can't have that. You know, the Giants
and the mistakes we made Monday night, the mistakes we made.
Do you have any faith in the Giants special teams? I really don't. I got to be honest with you.
No, I don't want any type of, I'm not expecting a spectacular play. Just be careful,
steady,
please.
Be steady. Don't cost your team any, don't cost your team field position, right?
Please.
Or God forbid 6 points. That's what you're asking for, right?
Exactly.
And one last thing, Jerry, you know, Saints are not very good against the run, bro. I mean,
right.
Could we have Saquon have one of those 160-yard games?
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know, maybe Saquon gives one of those 65-yard touchdowns this week, has a 150, 160-yard game or something like that. They're going to need that to win this game too.
Yeah.
So those are some of the keys. I think it's going to be a battle, though, dude. I look at the Saints offense against the Giants defense. Don't see it happening much. You know, Giants offense against their defense, kind of a stalemate. Turnovers, close game, maybe field goals. Maybe, like you said, Jerry, comes down to special teams, you know. So we'll see. I think, you know, Paris Campbell will be back this week as returning kicks, but, you know, we'll see what happens, man.
Good stuff. All right. So you're up 12 now. So now you're cruising. But I didn't realize this. I did say last week. Yeah, one. I had the Giants, and I said I see him winning on a late field goal. I should have played that clip
excellent.
all week.
Good call.
I should have played that clip all week. That was my highlight of the Let's podcast.
Good call. There you go. Hit it right in the head.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if you saw it yet, but I put it on Twitter. Everybody, make sure you check out Bob Papa's call on that field goal.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I
I
heard it already, but that's cool.
You heard it? Well, check it out. They have it. Actually have him videotaped. Yeah, you see.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just put it on Twitter a little while ago. I think everybody really enjoy it. Plus, Papa mentions the Italian thing at the end, which is very important. But a classic call by Papa. He's had a lot of them, man, all the years. This was to me, this was another classic one. I just put it on Twitter, Jerry. When we finish up here, just check it out. You'll see it on Twitter. It's classic things from Papa.
I mean, aside from all the championship stuff and the Super Bowl, one of my favorites from him, Chris, was Julian Love's interception of Lamar Jackson last year. I literally thought he was gonna his head was gonna explode. He seemed so excited. I loved it. Yeah. So
yeah, he was Jerry. He's pretty excited in his winning field goal. Yeah, check it out.
Right, cool.
It's a really great call by Papa.
All right, so last night you would have had the Raiders, as would I have. We'll just say that I was not picking the Chargers the rest of the season. I swore by it. And good for Antonio Pierce, dude. I'm happy for him. I really am.
Yes.
I don't
know if he'll stick around, but I'm happy for him. I hope he does. I hope he sticks around. I'm not sure.
I think they should give him a shot. These guys are playing hard for him.
I think they should give him a shot. I agree with 100%.
I mean, come on, man. What else does this freaking guy have to do, right?
Yep. Jerry, a couple of weeks ago, man, I put out there that just sign Pierce now. I know you can't. You got to do interviews.
No, I know.
The point was,
commit to him.
After your bullshit interviews, make Pierce the head coach, right?
Yeah.
And I had Raider fans coming at me, go, "Oh, he's doing this wrong, that wrong. You should have seen him. He stinks." I'm like, "Okay, well, they're playing.
Then don't.
Looks like they're winning some games for him, and they're playing hard. And I don't know. To me, I give Antonio a shot. Get maybe some better people, coach staff around him. Let him bring in his own guys and all that stuff. But to me, I give Antonio a shot.
Real quick, do you see certain someone going out west next year from New England, or no?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. All right. 1 o'clock.
He's got the quarterback. He's got, the defense will play much better, obviously, under him. And that's a type of deal. If Bill makes that move, they go from 5-12 to 12-5.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
So,
all right, 1 o'clock. Vikings at Bengals. I'm gonna go Bengals at home. Browning, baby.
Yep, I agree.
Steelers, who I actually surprised last week. By losing right to the Patriots. We both had the Pats. Steelers at Colts. I'm gonna Colts. I'm gonna Colts at home.
Colts, yeah.
Broncos at Lions.
I think the Lions will respond. Lions. Uh-oh.
Skipping. Sorry, I gotta skip Giants Saints.
What?
Sorry. Lions.
Oh, okay. I thought you were thinking Broncos when you were hesitating.
No. That game's tomorrow, though. I didn't know that.
Saturday games, yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know there was an 8:15 on Saturday. That's cool.
Yeah, the Lions are the late one.
That's fun stuff, man.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna see a lot more of that, dude. I know there's college football and all, but I think we're gonna see a lot more 2 games on Monday nights too, Chris.
Oh God, don't say that, please.
Well, I'm okay with that. Get rid of the Thursday night game, which I know they'll never do, but I don't need to see football on Thursdays anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm fine with 2 on Monday night because it allows me to flip, but just don't flip for me, guys. I don't need the red zone. Just I'll do it myself. But Thursday, dude, if you care about player safety, guys, get freaking rid of that Thursday game. I'm done with them, dude. They all suck. Terrible, right?
Yep, I agree with you. Dude, I've been saying this for years.
Right, come on.
It ain't happening. Money, all that. but it's a damn disgrace. It really is.
Bears at Browns. Well, Browns at home.
I tell you, these Bears are really playing well. But I'm going to go because the Browns play well at home. I'll go with the Browns at home.
If you're the Bears, do you give up on Justin Fields?
Jerry, for everything I read coming out of Chicago is that they still haven't made up their mind what they want to do with him.
I like him.
Me personally, I'm not giving up on him, dude.
I like him, dude.
I'm not giving up on him.
Give him Marvin Harrison Jr., then watch him.
Well, if they stick with him, he'll have Marvin Harrison Jr. with him. You know that.
Yeah.
So.
Falcons at Panthers. Oh, gotta go Falcons on the road.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Jerry? Two things. One, if this was like 5 weeks ago, I probably would have picked Carolina to upset them. But since it's game 14, right, and they need it so bad, I just don't see letting Carolina beat them. You know, it's funny. But I'm going to go with the Falcons, Jerry. But it wouldn't surprise me if Carolina pulls this upset this week. I don't know why. I don't know why something's telling me that, but I'll stick with the Falcons. They need it. They just need this game so bad.
Yeah. Buccaneers at Packers. Does Jordan Love rebound this week? Chris, you go first.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. I like the Pack at home.
We haven't gone different yet. I'm 12 behind. I got to go Bucks on the road. Yeah. Jets at Dolphins. I just don't see how the Dolphins don't rebound after last week's debacle. But I actually think Zach Wilson might play well again this week. I'm going to go Dolphins at home.
I'll go with the Dolphins at home too, but I can see this being a real close one, Jerry. I can see
me too.
I can see this being a close one. Yep.
Chiefs at Patriots. I'll go Chiefs on the road, obviously.
Yeah, me too.
Although, man, the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes doing a heel turn now, yelling at Josh Allen at the end of the game. Texans at Titans. Texans had a rough one last week. I don't know if Stroud's playing even, right?
I think he's playing. I think
is he playing? Okay.
I think he is. They got a lot of weapons out. You know, the Titans won. I'm going to go with the Titans at home. I think
will
the Texans
Jack Levis the bodybuilder? Yeah. I'll go Titans too. I can't just go different just for the sake of it. 4:00 Sunday. 49ers at Cardinals. Best team in football. 49ers.
Yes.
Commanders at Rams. Rams at home. That's gonna be tough, dude. I'm gonna go Rams at home.
Yep. Me too.
All right. Now here's a good one. Cowboys off of that stomping they gave Philly at Buffalo. This is a tough one, man.
This is one of those, right? You're waiting for the old Cowboy team to show up, right? They'll blow it out on the road. Right, dude. Yeah. Everybody thinks they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but Dak showed something last week. Man, this is a tough call. I'm gonna go.
Let me go first, so that way it doesn't look like I'm picking differently. I'm gonna go Cowboys on the road on this one.
I'm with you.
Okay, that's fine.
I was going to go Cowboys by a field goal on the road.
Yeah, I just have a different feeling, unfortunately, Giant fans, about this Cowboys team right now.
Right? It just seems that way. After that win last week, you kind of like, oh, wow, okay. You know,
I still think it's the 49ers conference to lose.
Yes, I agree.
But if Cowboys and Eagles play in the playoffs, I think the Cowboys win no matter where that game is.
I agree with you. I hate to say it, but I really like this Cowboy team.
Yeah.
And you know, they got rid of that Kellen Moore finally, and and we and myself included, we were all like, man, Mike McCarthy calling the players, oh God, this is gonna be a disaster. Well, guess what? Yeah. Guess what? Their offense has been better with Mike McCarthy than they were against the whiz kid, Kellen Moore.
The only people who haven't caught up with that, Chris, are Cowboy fans. They still complain about Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. I'm like, guys, it's the wrong year to complain about this. Like, they're doing well, you know, so they still
complain about him. I wouldn't complain about him this year.
No, not at all.
Not yet.
Sunday night, Ravens at Jags. Do the Ravens fall to the Jags? No, Ravens on the road. I'm going.
You know what, Jerry? You might pick one up here. I think the Jags are going to respond a little bit, and they're going to. I don't like the Ravens last week. I'm going to go with the Jags at home. There you go. You might pick one up there.
Now, I mean, Evan Ingram, like, yeah, this is what we want. This is what we thought, right? Like, I see him. He looks electric with the ball in his hand now.
I'm so happy for him, man. It was
you said he was like such a good guy.
It was a disaster in New York, but it wasn't all his fault too. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
would he have been different with Dable?
I think he would have been immensely different with Dable. Stephen did. I didn't play the whole clip, Jerry. When you see it, I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it.
Diggs was talking about Dable,
Yeah.
but I cut it off at a certain point. I didn't play the whole damn thing.
Yeah, right.
I put it on Twitter a little while ago, but Diggs goes on to talk about how Dable made Dawson Knox such a good tight end. Just to let you know. Okay. And I think Evan would have been what you see now in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson's doing with Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram. Right. I think you would have seen a lot of that here with Dable and Evan Ingram. Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming coaches for the bad drops, Jerry.
Right.
And all that stuff and a couple of fumbles. Don't get me wrong. That was all on Evan. And Evan, it didn't go well here in New York with Evan. And Evan was there was a big part of that too. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like I'm not blaming everything on coaching. Sure. But he also wasn't, and Jerry, this isn't a money morning quarterback bullshit. I said this for years. He's not being used right. How many times did I say that, Jerry?
1,000.
With Garrett, especially, he's not being used right. Right?
Yep.
Well, they're using him right, and he also has Trevor Lawrence, which helps. Don't get me wrong. But Doug Peterson is also using him right in Jacksonville, and I'm happy. I'm actually happy. I'll never say a bad thing about Evan Ingram. Yep. He was a great kid in the locker room. He won our Good Guy Award one year for the media. Great guy. I'm happy.
Always face the music too, right?
Always face the music, Jerry.
Yeah.
Even if he had a bad drop. Remember the Eagle game? We know, right? We know. We wanted to shoot him. Not shoot. You know what I mean?
No,
we wanted to kill him after the Eagle game and all that stuff. All that stuff. But like you said, always stood there.
Yeah.
And he faced it.
Yep, he did.
He faced it.
Now he's doing really well.
I'm happy for Evan. I really am. I wish it would have worked here. I wish he would have had a chance to work with a guy like Dable. I think Dable would have really helped this game.
He's basically becoming what we wanted. Like he's the nightmare matchup, the matchup nightmare that we wanted him to be. He is that now. Well, too big for safeties, too fast for linebackers.
Who had that vision?
Well, Reese drafted him.
Bang.
Well, yeah. So
Jerry, that's what Jerry Reese envisioned.
Yeah.
That's why he drafted him at that position.
Yep.
So.
All right. Monday night, Eagles at Seahawks. I will go first. Conventional wisdom says the Eagles bounce back. I say it's 3 in a row as long as Geno Smith plays. I can't change the pick. I think Geno Smith will play. I'm saying they lose 3 in a row. I think that's going to be a tough game for them. And I know everyone thinks they're going to come back. I think it's 3 in a row for Philly. They're going to lose.
Yeah, well, that could happen in Seattle. No question about it. But I just don't like the way Seattle's defense is playing.
Terrible.
I think the Eagles will do enough offensively to win a 30-24 type game, a 30-27, something like that.
Yeah.
I think Seattle with Geno, I think Geno's going to play. I think he's going to play, but I think they'll move the ball on the Eagles. I think they got a good receiver. I think they'll do some good things. But I just don't know how much Seattle's defense is going to stop the Eagles this game. So I'm going to go with the Eagles in a close one.
It's not an Eagles podcast, but do you put anything into this like Jalen Hurts, like the doubt creeping in with them, or no? You just think it's a blip in the radar?
The doubt creeping in with who?
Well, like AJ Brown's calling him out now a little bit, and I don't know. It just seems
AJ Brown complains about everything, so you can't go by AJ Brown.
Yeah, it just seems like more in the media now, and the fans are starting to like, all right, well, what do we have here with Jalen? That's all. I was just curious what you thought. I know you like Jalen Hurts, so.
Yeah, look, he hasn't played as well as last year, Jerry. No question about it.
Yeah.
I think he's getting over an injury. I think he's feeling better. He's can't be blaming a knee or anything like that. You see the way he's running. So he, look, Jerry, I think it's a matter of they got away with a lot last year with 2 receivers. In today's NFL, you like to have that third guy.
Yeah, they don't. You're right.
And they really don't. And I think Dallas Goedert being out for weeks kind of hurt him.
Yeah.
Jerry, one of the big things, too, is that their offensive line has given up a lot of pressures and sacks this year.
Yeah.
They haven't been as good as last year. Now, they're still real good, the Eagles' offensive line. Lane Johnson's going to the Hall of Fame. Okay?
So is Kelsey.
He's still one of the best right tackles, if not the best in the game, right?
Yep.
But everybody else, Kelsey's been phenomenal as usual. But, in that pocket, pressure, sack-wise, hasn't been the same. I mean, you look at the Cowboys' offensive line. I mean, Dak has all day to throw the damn ball.
Oh, he can do anything back there. Yeah.
So I don't think the offensive line has been. I know the still rated real high, and it's still one of the best lines, if not the best. Probably maybe 1A behind Dallas and all that stuff, Jerry. But I still don't think that's been the same as last year.
Right.
I think they've gotten away from DeAndre Swift a little bit, which was a mistake the last few weeks.
Yep.
I think they'll get it right. They went to a brutal schedule, and they're like 2-2 in it,
Yeah.
And they got a soft schedule the rest of the way. After the Seattle game, and Seattle's playing like crap, So I think the Eagles, it's going to be interesting. They're still real good, but Jerry, look, I put something on Twitter the other day too. Bradbury is doing for the Eagles this year exactly what he did last with the
100%,
Giants.
100%.
He had a phenomenal first year, and he's having a mediocre second year.
Yeah, doesn't surprise.
So they've had injuries. Teams have been able to throw on him, Jerry. So they're not the same team, but they're still real good, and they can still get it right. So I wouldn't count the Eagles out yet. I just don't. To me, all year it's been like something's been missing, and that includes even with Jalen. And we'll see what happens.
And Darius Slay, it can't be called big play Slay constantly. Darius is not having that great of a year.
But
so.
Yeah. Jerry, look, what do we talk about back in training camp too? Well, we talked about how would they look with the new coordinators.
Oh, yeah, dude. Right? Absolutely.
Well, what is Shane Steichen doing in Indianapolis?
Right.
With a backup quarterback. They're right there in the playoff hunt, bro.
Yep. Totally. Yeah, that's a good point.
And guess what? And people look at the offense, the Eagles and go, well, they're off. What's going on? AJ, like you said, AJ's complaining. Although AJ complains about everything. AJ's complaining. This, blah, blah, blah. The offense isn't the same. What's going on with Jalen? Whoa! You hear all this stuff coming out of Philly. It's, South Philly and stuff like that. And it's like, well, I think people are forgetting too. They lost their coordinator. We're kind of going to see how that body of work was going to be during the course of the season. Well, right now, their offense doesn't look the same. Even though they're still highly rated. I think they're a top 10 still, top 7. There's just something off with that offense. We'll see if they can get it straight. Right. If they can get it straightened out, we'll see.
Yeah, and that team complained about Gannon like crazy too. Oh my God. And I look, that defense has been not good. So they complain about that fan base complained about Jonathan Gannon every week on the radio. So
and the big thing with the Eagles this year, last year they had 70+ sacks.
Yeah, true.
This year, nowhere near that.
No, nowhere near that.
No, nowhere near that. So they're not the same football team, even though they're 10-3, but they're still very talented. That doesn't mean they can't get it right, So of course they'll get it right in 2 weeks against us, I'm sure. So
Christmas Day, sure. Ruin Christmas. All right, guys. One more game. Giants at Saints. Who do you like, Chris?
Yeah. You know what, Jerry? I had Saints all week.
Did you really?
And then I'm looking on matchups. I'm looking. Darren might be back in a few snaps. I'm looking. I'm saying we're going to get a couple turnovers. We've been a turnover machine or a takeaway machine, the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the Giants in a close one. I'm going to say the defense is the difference. I'm going to say they picked Derek Carr off a few times or they get a strip sack from Tibbs. And watch out for a strip sack from Aziz this week, who really played well last week. He's been healthy. I told you, he told me in the locker room, I'm feeling good now. Well, guess what? He played like he felt good, right?
Yes, he did.
Monday night.
Best game of the year.
I see a couple more turnovers. I see a strip sack. I see a pick. I see the Giants. I don't see DeVito doing much, but just not handing the game over to the Saints. And the Giants had a 16-13 game. Call me crazy, Foley, in New Orleans, but that's the way I feel. We'll see what happens Sunday.
No, I agree with almost everything. I'm saying Giants 24-13. I think DeVito has an even better game than we think. Ooh, I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns.
Jerry, if they put 24 on the board, get 6-8. 6-8. I don't think there's any question. 6-8 if they put 24 on the board.
Yeah, I think he's going to have 2 touchdown passes this game. And Barkley's going to have a good game, and the defense is just going to do what I think they're going to do against the Saints. So going to hold him. Might be ugly a little early. He's going to have to, there might be, like you said, Chris, might be some kind of a turnover early that you're going to have to overcome. It's going to be loud down there. He's going to have to get used to that. But I don't know, man. I just like our chances this week. And I think DeVito mania continues for at least another week. And the questions about his future will intensify, and I'm all fine with it. Whatever, guys. It's a lot better than the alternative, which had Chris and I saying, what the hell are we going to talk about this week 3 weeks ago? So this is way more fun. I'll take it. So that's it. That's it for me, man. I'm 24-13 Giants.
All right. So we both have the Giants going to 6-8, man.
Yep. All right. So we'll come back to you guys Monday with the wrap-up show, and then yeah, we'll go from there. And I'll do the live stream again. We did it last week. They won. I'm doing it again. So 50 people joined. 1 o'clock Sunday should be even more. So if you want to join, watch me lose my mind and blood pressure go to lethal levels, go for it. It's a good time. Anything else, buddy?
No, that's it, man. Enjoy.
No, nothing else. All right, guys. Sundays are Giant days. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.